Let me ask you something.
No, you let me ask you something.
Do you guys like original stories? Let's hope the answer is yes, because if not, I might just have to do this. I might have to go Super Saiyan. Anyway, welcome back to another Anime Quickie with your host, A. Goldman, or Aaron Goldman. That's me. And today we are going to be talking about anime originals, or original stories, if you would like to call it that. So I have here a little bit of information for you guys. A lot of people are wondering why Blade Runner is being called an original, or they might be kind of guessing, saying, "Hey, Blade Runner doesn't seem like an original story. We've seen many of versions of Blade Runner." Um, with this one, the title is not original, but the story that is being told is, because it's not like your normal Blade Runner stories. The main character and also the direction of the story, as well as the story itself, pulls pieces and parts from things, but does not tell the exact same story, and also is very different in the way it's being told and how it's being told. Um, the other thing is you also have stories like Fena Pirate Princess, which are completely different. They take elements from shows like Rurouni Kenshin or like One Piece or something like that, right? But they don't necessarily tell the exact same story, or even a story that's even remotely similar. They're way different from your stories with like Monkey D. Luffy or Rurouni Kenshin. They might have some action scenes that are similar, and they might have maybe that pirate samurai type of feel to them, but the story is way different. With Fena, I kind of liked the way they got into the characters. It was really in depth with character development. The story was also very well told and very well put together. I'm hoping for a season two because it would be fantastic if they do. And just the way it was done was phenomenal. And I had never seen anything like that in an anime or in a pirate story. Not that One Piece is not the One Piece is very good too, but One Piece is also long. But Fena was very different from anything that had come out beforehand. So I think the same thing with Black Lotus, Blade Runner Black Lotus. Yeah, we've had other versions of Blade Runner, but nothing ever like this. And actually, I hope you guys are watching, because Saturday nights they've been doing new episodes for Blade Runner Black Lotus. So I can't wait to see where the story goes and see what happens. But yeah. So if you guys are wondering, like, hey, what kind of classifies them as original stories? A lot of times, it is the way the story, kind of how the artist created the story, and also how the story is told. Um, and then sometimes you have things that might be titled Blade Runner, or could be titled similar to something you've seen previously, but either the manga or the content that the way it was put together, the way the story is told, or the pieces that artists pulled from something else may not be the same elements, and they could have been changed or altered to tell a completely new story, which is a lot of times the case, or it even could be set in a different universe, which does happen sometimes, where things are set in different universes, and um, you don't always uh, you don't always get the same outcome because it's another universe or a different dimension. So things don't always turn out the same way. And that also is what kind of makes originals, is that the story is not told the same, and it's very different from the usual. And now, me personally, I like seeing new stuff. Um, and I kind of was asking these questions originally. I was like, hey, why the heck are we seeing stuff that, why the heck it is Blade Runner Black Lotus such an original? And then I kind of did some research. And I was like, oh, I was like, now this is kind of cool because it's different from your regular anime, or your regular Blade Runner story. So, which is really cool. Now, Fena, with other original stories like Fena, where like it's something completely different. That story could have been totally made up by the original creator, Or the other possibility is that they took a couple pieces from different things, altered it, and then created something new from it. Now, it also depends on the source material. I'm not sure, not 100% sure if Fena or Fena had an original manga, because if it does have an original manga, like, so for example, Blade Runner does have original pieces to it, um, and stuff that has been done before Black Lotus. So it depends on whether they pulled from any of the universes before Black Lotus, so any of the originals or anything else. But even if they did, even if they pulled parts from other series, does not mean that you're going to see or that it's going to be the same, which would be usually completely different. So guys, if you're wondering, like, if you're on the fence about watching something, you're like, hey, should I check out Blade Runner Black Lotus, and you're a little discouraged by the title, don't be, because even if the title is similar or the same title, doesn't mean the story is going to be the same, and story elements are usually very different. I think it's kind of interesting that the way Japan and the way the Japanese kind of inspire each other to do different things, and then they may, and usually this happens a lot too, they may take parts and pieces, or they may do a joke inside of some of the stories that relates to something else you may have seen before, or just the story just may be drastically different from anything you've seen, but the parts and pieces that were used could be something, could be pulling from something, so a couple different things. Um, and they could be just different, or the story could just be very different from what you've ever seen before. And it's kind of cool how they do that, because there's so much anime out there. There's so many different things to inspire you, and so many different ways that they can change up stories, and that they can kind of make things different and tell things in different ways. Um, and that's what's really cool about the anime universe, and even with the MCU, with the Marvel universe, they tend to do that a lot too. They tend to change up the storylines, change the universe, alter different things that makes a different outcome in the end, or just creates a whole new story, to something. I saw something like Spider-Man, or something like that. They could change the universe, or change stuff about the story, or how the story started, or how the story was told, or whatever, and that can make a whole new universe in and of itself, or even just a whole new story altogether. Which is cool, and I hope to see more of this kind of stuff. It's really kind of cool to see what they come up with, and what people, and that's kind of the idea of originals. They're not really spin-offs. They are it could be the same title, but way different story. Like, that's the case with Black Lotus. Same title, but way different story. And so, yeah, so that's kind of my some of the research I did with originals, and it's kind of my thoughts on originals. Right now with Toonami, Jason DeMarco is one of the people working on the original stories for Toonami, and kind of helping to bring more originals to Toonami. Crunchyroll has also been a big help in this too, which I think is great. I think it's cool to see more new and more original anime, and stuff that's different that we've never seen before. A lot of people, might get tired of some of the older classics or whatever, or just the same story being told over and over again. And yeah, you can get bored of the usual stuff, which is something that happens. We get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again, and yeah, that's something that happens to me, and probably that happens to a lot of people. They just get sick of seeing the same thing over and over. So it is good to see some different. It is good to see some different stuff in there, and new things being created. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time, and I hope you're having a great night. Stay safe, and yeah, peace. Till next time.